Manhattan. It's the cultural, financial and entertainment capital of the world. It's also home to over 24,000 restaurants.
Oh, wow.
Making this the ultimate urban foodie metropolis. Today we're sampling dishes from 3 different Midtown eateries.
What do you think of that?
Hello.
And we decide which one is our favourite meal of the day.
This is going to be a challenge.
Join us as we take a bite out of Manhattan. Manhattan is one of 5 boroughs that encompass the New York City area. This 13-mile island is nestled between the Hudson and the East Rivers. It sees a daily population peak at over 3 million people per day. The city in the Empire State is home to sprawling skyscrapers, bustling streets, majestic parks, renowned museums and historic landmarks. With over 24,000 restaurants in Manhattan alone, there's something for everyone and every taste bud. This evolving and exhilarating city has long been known for its diversity and as a beacon for hope and liberty. First inhabited by Native Americans and later European settlers, Manhattan has a long history as a trading post. In the 19th century, New York City grew as an economic centre, attracting immigrants looking to start a better life. With them, they brought international flavours and cuisines. That created an urban melting pot that's still part of the city culture today. Our guest for today's culinary adventure is Keisha.
When people have a safe space, you can create bigger, better, more authentic and creative things.
She's the co-founder of Camel Assembly, a collective of creative female leaders building communities around the globe.
So Camel Assembly started in 2015 here in New York City. My business partner started it. She's an Afghan DJ. Her family were refugees. And we're a collective of artists and activists. And really, we just believe that when people come together and are given a good narrative, they want to make change in themselves and in their cities. And so that's what we try to engender. But what we don't realize is that we can make change every day on our streets when we are honest about what we care about. So we really believe that every person, when they have the ability to make change, they will. We just need to give more opportunities to them. And so we started creating these communities around the world. So Camel Assembly is now live across 9 cities in 4 continents.
We're going to sample favourites from 3 Midtown restaurants and decide which is our favourite meal of the day.
And here she is.
Gary,
Great to see you, honey. How are you?
I've missed you. I've been good. I've been a bit warm, you know, summer in New York.
I love this time of year in New York.
I do too.
Got my shorts on. It's time to relax.
Yeah, I do need to be a bit more like you. I'm still doing the black on black. I love catching up with Gary. We're old friends from Australia. I haven't seen him for a minute, so it's going to be good to see him back in New York City.
We're going to have some fun today. We've
What
got
are
3
we
restaurants
doing?
to check out.
Okay.
I'm going to put you under a bit of pressure to choose your favourite restaurants.
Okay, let's do it.
And I think I've chosen 3 restaurants you haven't been to, which is always a good thing.
Okay.
Okay, so our first one is Irvington, right here. It's New York vibey kind of bistro.
It looks like an old style New York restaurant.
Let's get inside and check it
All
out.
right, let's go.
Irvington is Mediterranean-influenced, market-driven American restaurant. When you come into Irvington, it's a very New York vibe, a very open dining room. We change the menu with the seasons, but we're always trying out new dishes.
Alrighty, so here we are. Absolute New York, New York, New York.
It is very well known.
You've been living in New York for how long now?
On and off for 4 years.
Okay.
So I officially transplanted here from London last year. I'm quite origin confused. So I was born in Hong Kong.
Yeah.
My mother's Indian. My father's English. I went to school in Australia. I've lived in a lot of places around the world. New York is the whole world in one city. And so you can go so many different places and get something as authentic as if you were in Chiang Mai in Thailand. And so I love food. I find food to be a really beautiful communion tool. You know, the last thing you remember about a meal is the coffee. And so your barista is as important as the head chef. And for me, that ecosystem of how a kitchen and the front of house and the marketing stuff and how everybody works together for me is like this beautiful song that comes together when you kind of walk out and be like, I feel really cared for and nurtured for. And so when I'm going in, that's deep, but when I'm going in, I'm always appreciative of those experiences. And so I'm thankful to be on the journey. I've lived all over the place because I run a creative women's community called Camel Assembly.
Now this is fascinating. Tell us about what you're doing.
Camel Assembly started here in New York in 2015, and this was pre a lot of the conversations around women that are happening today. Basically, we just had amazing women who were making change in their field. We started bringing them together, and what we realized is the narrative that women compete and don't collaborate was untrue. So we really wanted to change that narrative. So we really believe that when women have a safe space, they come together, they create. That's what we try to build all around the world.
This is great because what you effectively do is you're a marketing mentoring program.
Yeah.
You help them get together and help them achieve their goals.
Totally.
Well, I hope you're hungry.
I'm always hungry. I'm Indian, I'm always hungry.
Today I'm going to be making our yellowtail crudo with pickled shallots, cantaloupe, and Calabrian chili, and I'll be making our signature SG chicken parmesan. So our yellowtail crudo, we got a beautiful yellowtail imported from Japan. We slice it very thin and just season it with some Lebanese olive oil and some fresh cantaloupe. Calabrian chilies, pickled shallots. For our chicken parmesan, we use a little light marinara sauce, Munster cheese in place of the more typical mozzarella. Finish it in our brick oven. It just comes as is, it doesn't need anything else.
Alrighty, and here it is. Thank you so much. Hamachi, yellowtail, and some chicken parm. Oh, I love the crust on that.
Yeah, I'm ready for that.
Oh yeah, that's going to be great. And the cheese on here is Monster.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, you go ahead.
All right. This is beautiful.
Look at that. What do you think?
Oh my god.
Really?
And first of all, it's onion, it's salty. The fish is really fresh.
Oh wow. Ooh, that oil. Oh wow. The cantaloupe. Oh my gosh.
All right, cantaloupe coming in with the cantaloupe.
The cantaloupe adds a whole different experience. Mm-hmm. It is really just a delicious fish dish.
That was a really, really beautiful dish. The olive oil they had used was, for me, the highlight. It brought everything together. And using the melon in there added a bit of sweetness that kind of broke up the oceanic flavor of the hamachi.
Right, let's have a look at this and see how this is cooked. Oh yeah, that's great. Okay, you can see here it's wonderfully cooked, and I love the crust on the outside too.
I can already feel the textures.
Oh,
When you first see it, you're like, oh, it looks really crispy. I wonder what the texture inside will be like. Hello. But it was so soft, it was so flavorsome, it was tender, and they kept the moisture in, so props to the chef for that.
love the cheese.
Love the cheese. I also love the chicken. Like, if I'm honest, when I first saw it, I was like, oh, looks really bready, but
Yeah.
it actually, the ratios are perfect.
All right, this is the first of many meals you're going to have today, so prepare.
I'm ready.
We're going to head down to have some authentic Italian after this,
Okay.
and I want to see what you think.
I'm excited.
After the break, we head over to Faraci Ristorante in Chelsea, where delicious Italian cuisine is always on the menu.
Let me cut you a piece off.
Will this veal meal seal the deal?
Oh, wow.
Then it's off to Keema, located in the Flatiron district, for octopus and short ribs.
Oh, wow.
Which of these Manhattan plates will be today's favourite? Stay tuned. Welcome back. We're in Manhattan. This New York City offers up amazing, unique culinary experiences down every street.
Here she is.
Gary,
Great
how
to see you,
you
honey.
doing?
How are you?
Our guest today is Keisha. She's the co-founder of Camel Assembly, a collective of creative female leaders building communities around the world.
We really believe that when people have a safe space, you can create bigger, better, more authentic and creative things.
The first stop on this metropolitan culinary adventure started at Irvington, located on the ground floor of the W Hotel in Union Square. This sleek and chic eatery served up a delicious yellowtail crudo,
Oh, wow.
along with their signature chicken parmesan dish.
Hello.
Next up is Faraci Restaurant in the Moxie Hotel. This indoor-outdoor Italian restaurant in Chelsea infuses Italian traditions into their contemporary menu.
Faraci is a very retro restaurant. We bring you back to Italy. We're trying to Italian food in the way Italians eat now in Italy. Traditional Italian cuisine, as I said, with a little twist.
Okay, so what do you think?
Where are we? I've never been here before.
Right at the start, you can actually tell that everything's been very carefully designed here.
This place is awe-inspiring. I've never seen anything like this in New York. I loved this restaurant. It's cavernous, but there's so much attention to detail. There's arches everywhere. Beautiful.
We're in the Flower District here. The hotel here is the Moxie, designed for the adventurous traveller. The restaurant obviously is part of a hotel, and it is just authentic Italian. So each dish has its own region, and I think you're going to be very impressed because most of the ingredients actually come from Italy as well. Let's fly them in.
Brilliant. I was just in Italy for a wedding. I haven't been anywhere like this in New York City.
Just talking about your work.
You know, 2015 when Camel Assembly started, it was pre-Me Too and women's voices were a lot more muted than they are now. For me, authentic empowerment comes from the self. Often we've seen empowerment as something that somebody else gives somebody versus
I'm taking it.
Right.
You're going to be really wowed by what's going to come out on the plate in a sec.
Ooh, I'm excited.
Here at this restaurant, we're trying Italian food in the way Italians eat now in Italy. I always had a passion for food. So today we're gonna be making squid tagliolini with lemon and crab, and we're gonna be doing veal Milanese. So the first dish is a very simple dish. So it's a squid ink pasta tagliolini. So it's a very thin shape of pasta, fresh, made in house. And we saute a little bit of garlic, fresh garlic, a little bit of chili to add a little bit of kick, and then cherry tomatoes. We add crab, and we use this crab bisque, which is basically a stock made from the shell of the crab. We add lemon at the end, and lemon zest. The second dish is veal Milanese. As I say, it's a very classic dish in Italy from Milan, but we add our twist with the chamomile. So we bread the veal Milanese with breadcrumbs and chamomile flower. It's served just like that with a little half lemon and nothing else. They're gonna taste a piece of Italy, basically. I hope they're gonna be transferred to Italy.
Oh wow, here comes the food.
Here we have your food.
Oh my
see what I'm talking
goodness.
about? Thank you so much.
Tagliolini.
Oh, look at that. That is great. Thank you so much, sir. I really appreciate that. This is the grass-fed, milk-fed veal.
Okay.
Apparently it's a signature dish, and apparently it's amazing.
First of all, the presentation is stunning. That veal is it's striking. It looks so crispy and in a way that is like really appetizing. You just want to pick up that bone and get into it. Yeah, this looks stunning.
Want some cheese?
Yeah, I'd love some.
What would you like?
A
Parmesan?
little bit of pecorino, I think.
This is great.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Beautiful. Never too much freshly shaved cheese, I say. Squid ink is not something we're used to eating, so when you see it like that and it's got the fresh basil and then coming in with the freshly grated pecorino over the top, beautiful.
All right, let's do it, shall we?
Oh
take a look at
my
that.
God.
Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
First thing I tasted was the crab.
There's something unusual about eating pasta that's that colour, isn't it?
Totally.
But really,
Yeah.
the squid
Yeah.
ink doesn't really do anything with the taste.
No, it's just a visual appeal.
Yeah. Amazing. It's a
Oh,
great
wow.
backdrop for the crab meat. That crab meat,
And it's really fresh. You know, a lot of crab pastas can be really creamy. This
Yeah.
one is really bright with the basil and the tomato.
it's just stunning, isn't it?
Beautiful. I could eat a lot of this.
That crab meat is almost like, it's like a pulled pork where it's pulled.
Yep.
It's a pulled crab.
But there are like beautiful chunks of it as well, you know?
Just so good. Okay, before you have too much of that, let's try some of this veal.
Stopping me in my
There's a
tracks.
lemon there. It's obviously toast.
Squeeze away,
There we
sir. Oh, look at this crispy sage on top.
Let me cut you a piece off.
Thank you.
Look at that. You can almost use a spoon to cut that.
Oh, wow.
Look at that.
Wow.
It's yours. Look at that. It's just absolutely stunning. Really nice thin piece.
Yeah.
That's it.
Oh, wow. The veal is cooked perfectly. It's so tender. It's also really flavorsome. Really tasty. It tastes like the best part of the ribeye.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes. I can see why this is their signature dish.
Oh yeah. The food is extraordinary. It's very memorable, and it obviously has been made with a lot of care and a lot of intentionality. I feel like we're in Italy. Really, really impressive.
Well, we're going to finish up here, and then we're going to head to our third restaurant.
This is going to be a challenge.
After the break, we finish up the day
At Keema.
Located in the Flatiron district, this modern Mediterranean restaurant serves up traditional Greek dishes with Mykonos flair. Will this octopus be today's favourite? Stay tuned.
Oh wow.
Welcome back. We've sampled fantastic dishes here in Manhattan with our guest Keisha.
You know, the last thing you remember about a meal is the coffee. And so your barista is as important as the head chef.
Our first stop was Irvington in Union Square, where we dined on yellowtail crudo and their signature chicken parmesan dish.
I can already feel the textures.
Oh,
Then it was off to Faraci in Chelsea for this delicious pasta dish,
oh, look at that.
along with a classic veal meal.
It tastes like the best part of the ribeye.
The last stop in this Manhattan tasting journey is Keema in the Flatiron district. This Mediterranean eatery embraces traditional Greek cuisine.
Guests feel like stepping away from the city, the vibe, the bustle. So a moment of just fine dining and enjoyment. Keema is Greek-inspired island seafood. The flavors of Greece, fresh seafood, presented elegantly.
Okay, so now we're in Greece.
We made it to Greece.
We've eaten at 2 restaurants already. Are you ready to go another round?
I'm ready for number 3, the final
Great.
round. I learned that. People say that, like, where do you put it? I was like, go straight to my soul.
Okay, so this restaurant totally renovated to look and feel like you're in the Greek islands. The lighting has been backlit, so it's like a sunset in Santorini.
Feel that.
And if you look right to the end of the restaurant, you can see the fish, which is on display. They want to do that because they want to show you that it's fresh.
Right, which is so important. You walk in and it's high ceilings, everything is so beautifully bright, and you can tell that the artifacts that they have in there are from Greece. So there's been a lot of intentionality to all of the decor.
How important is food in the work that you do with women?
Ironically, the first convening of Camel Assembly was around a brunch. Everybody brings something so that everybody feels like they're equal. We all put it on the table, we all eat together, and then we sit down and share. And it's a really important trait of being a human to sit down and listen. And sometimes you'll agree, sometimes you'll disagree, but we'll realize at the end we're human. Cheers, and let's go on about our lives. So food is so important.
Well, I hope you're hungry because I've got some food coming. So an amazing Greek short rib, which is going to be amazing, is we're having some amazing octopus as well.
Oh, I do like octopus.
From Spain.
Oh.
Today I'm going to make the octopus. The octopus is lightly grilled and just serve it on a bed of julienne red onion. A touch of scallion, a little bit of fresh herbs and capers, very fresh. The second dish will be a short rib buvette. Short rib buvette is traditionally orzo and beef that's cooked in a casserole in the oven. We do it separately and we put it together at the end. For us, food is everything.
Well, I hope you're hungry because here it comes.
It comes.
Everyone, here we are.
Thank you. Love that.
We have a short rib with the orzo.
Oof. It's so colorful.
Thank you so much.
Enjoy, everyone.
I feel like I can taste how savory it is already.
Let's try it.
Hey.
What do you think of that?
Look at that. So beautiful and chunky.
All right, let's try it.
Cool.
Oh, it's charcoal. It's smoky.
Oh, wow.
Now I feel transported
Yeah.
to Greece.
That was delicious.
That is stunning.
So tender. The moment I tasted it, it tasted like nothing I've had before. Totally took me back to Greece. It was just a big flavor sensation that smacks you in the face.
All right, let's try the short rib and see if it's just as good. Oh, look at that.
Oh, getting into it. Getting into
it just falls apart as well.
Wow. Massive piece of meat, cooked beautifully, tender, easy to pull apart. Beautiful.
You can taste it. A charcoal flavor.
Tomato, really, really savory. Feels like it's been cooked for a really long time. The flavor is deeply infused in the meat. And it has that nice little bit of fattiness to it, you know what I mean? That makes it feel quite indulgent.
And of course, served with some horzo as well, which is such a Greek dish. And some beautiful tomato sauce.
Love that.
Absolutely on point.
I'm gonna get more.
You know what? Let's finish this off.
Yeah.
You have the most difficult task that I've ever given anybody. We've had 3 remarkably amazing restaurants. So you need to choose your favourite after the break.
All right, let's do it.
We've taken a bite out of the best dishes Manhattan has to offer. And when we come back,
So what is your favourite dish?
I think that my favorite.
stay tuned. We've tried the best dishes Manhattan has to offer, and now we decide which one is our favourite.
Alrighty, so now the hard part. It was very easy eating everything, so we need to choose our favourite dish of the day. We started off at the Irvington, and we had some hamachi, which was yellowtail.
Oh my God.
Really?
The fish is really fresh.
And we had chicken parmigiana, which was a little different because we had that different cheese, which was the Munster cheese, right?
On top, yeah.
And I love that because it was like almost like a grilled cheese sandwich.
Yeah, it was like a combination of dishes. I can already feel the textures.
Oh, what did you think of that?
Hello. I loved that. I thought that was so flavoursome and such an amazing way for us to start.
Then we went to Italy itself almost. We went to Faraci at the Moxie Hotel, and it was just a stunning, amazing decor. You feel like you're transported into a different location.
It was visually stunning and the food was so on point.
So we had an amazing veal dish there with a lemon squeeze on top, which was just incredible. It was covered in breadcrumb and cooked to absolute perfection.
Oh, wow.
And we also had squid ink pasta with crab.
Yes, beautiful crab.
Amazing. It's a great
wow.
backdrop for the crab meat. That crab meat,
And it's really fresh. You know, a lot of crab pastas can be really creamy. This
Yeah.
one is really bright with the basil and the tomato.
it was really nice.
Best crab I've had.
Yeah, absolutely for sure. Big chunks of it. Almost like it was pulled off the bone somehow, but just stunning. Then we came here to Greece. Keema, which was an amazing restaurant right here in New York City. As soon as you walk in, you feel like you're transported back to Greece as well.
In Santorini as well.
We had the most incredible short rib. You can taste a charcoal flavour.
Tomato, really, really savory. Feels like it's been cooked for a really long time. The flavor is
Yep.
deeply infused in the meat.
And we had the most incredible octopus from Spain, which was just stunning. That wonderful charcoal taste.
Look at that. So beautiful and chunky. Oh, wow. Wow.
Now I feel transported to Greece.
Best in the world, which I didn't know up until this point, but I believe them now. Best in the world. I had to run through all 6 of the dishes. I loved all of them. There were different parts that really appealed to me. I think the authenticity and what it takes me back to is what I'm going to be using to make my decision. But I do have to say that the ingredients and the commitment to the quality of the ingredients is something that I've admired across all of the dishes.
Okay, so your choice today is?
The short rib and the orzo. That one we just had, it was so flavorsome. You could feel that they'd been cooking it. You could taste that they had been cooking it for hours. There was love in both the meat and the orzo. Like, I ate the meat first, I was like, that's amazing. Then I ate the orzo, I was like, that's even more amazing. That was a winner for me.
Love that.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to choose the squid ink crab at Faraci because...
That was my runner-up.
Yeah, is that
Okay.
right? Because there's something about that. I don't know what it was, but it was like very light. The flavors worked so beautifully together. It was like a science project that just worked.
Perfect. And there was the basil and the lemon zest. It was a really flavorsome dish, but then the fresh bits on top really elevated it.
Always good to catch up with you.
I'm so happy
always,
I saw you.
I know. And so great to see that your work you're doing with women,
Thank you.
elevating women, making their lives so much better. And we had the most amazing day. So can't wait to see you again shortly.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
No worries. Ciao.
Mwah.
Thanks for coming along on this journey in Manhattan. Join us next time as we taste more of America.